Mombasa, Awaza, and today I am going to be taking you through Saccos. We are going to look at some of the features of the Sacco, and lastly we are going to compare Saccos and the money market fund. We are also going to see if, for instance, you have 100,000 Kenyan shillings, where are you most likely to get a higher return on investment? Is it in Saccos or is it in money market fund? So please stay tuned. So Saccos are savings and credit cooperative societies which are formed under the Cooperative Act of Kenya and regulated by the SASRA, that is the Saccos and Society Regulatory Authority in Kenya. So Saccos are deposit taking in nature and an ideal way of channeling your savings. They mostly aggregate the savings and lend them out, or sometimes invest in the allowed instruments such as the shares, treasury bills, and even the government bonds. So most Saccos initially restricted membership to industry or the sectors of working, but nowadays they are lifting those restrictions and you can join any Sacco that you wish. For example, say Sacco like Wakulima Sacco, initially when it was formed, it was for farmers only, but nowadays we find that most of these Saccos, they allow any individual to join. That returns from Saccos are usually high, and sometimes they offer more returns as compared to what the traditional commercial banks would offer you. So what are some of the features of Saccos? Every Sacco has a minimum share capital that you must purchase either as a lump sum or in installment for you to start saving. So you have to be a registered member first and you have to buy the shares. Also, once you purchase the shares, you are eligible to have loans and also get the other services which are being offered by the same Sacco. So the other key feature is that Saccos have a monthly contribution. So this can be a set amount where you pay your money. This amount you have to be very faithful in paying it to the Sacco every month. It could be a set amount, it could be 5,000 shillings, it could be 10,000 shillings, depending on other factors. And you have to make sure that you deposit this amount in the Sacco every other month. The other thing is that the money is not accessible easily. The money that you are saving with the Sacco, that money, there is no liquidity. You cannot just come one day and say you want to withdraw all that money. That is not possible in Saccos. But what you can do, you can always take a loan against the member's contribution or the amount that you saved up so far. And the other good thing is that you can, with most Saccos, you can borrow up to 3 times of what you saved already with them. So that one is very key. Another one worth mentioning is that interest paid on these contributions are usually higher than what most bank rates. So you also have access to emergency loans, and most of the time they are usually processed within 48 hours. But however, you have to be eligible for these loans. It's not just automatic that because you are saving with a Sacco that you will be eligible to loans. You need to have maybe a guarantor, somebody to propose your name or to back you up whenever you want to take a loan. And most of the time you can take a loan, like I said before, sometimes up to a standard member can borrow up to 3 times of their savings. So that is a good thing. Saccos have also ventured into investments such as the purchase of lands. This has been greatly hailed by most people as a safer option of purchasing land, for example, because in some countries, there are so many schemes where people are duped into buying land that are non-existent. Yeah, so Saccos, they are offering a better alternative where they purchase the land on behalf and exclusively for the members who save them. In the event that you wish to leave a Sacco, the shares which you bought are not refundable. The only thing that you can do with these shares is maybe sell them to a new member, somebody willing to buy them, or to an existing member of the Sacco. But that money is not refundable to you. So your share capital earns you what you call the dividend, which is usually given towards the end of the year once they have declared their profits. And I see most nowadays their dividends, the rates are slightly higher. Most of them are usually giving 10% and above, and others as much as 14%. The other one is illiquidity. You cannot just wake up one day and go to the Sacco and say you want to take your money that you've saved with them. That may not be possible, as you have to go through certain processes in order for you to get that money back. Yes, the money is yours. You can get it at the end of the day, but it will take some time. You can't just go to walk into the Sacco and tell the manager, "Oh, I want my money back." That is not possible. So say you have a portfolio of 100,000 saved the Sacco, and towards the end of the year, the Sacco declares that the interest they are giving is 14%. So that basically means you're going to get 14% of the amount which you have saved up. If it is 100,000, so that is 14,000. That is 14% of the 100,000, which gives you like 14,000 shillings. Then the interest is subject to withholding tax of 5% if you are a resident, otherwise subject to 15% withholding tax if you are a non-resident. So meaning the amount you get as a resident from the 14% interest is 13,300 shillings. So when looking for a Sacco, what are some of the things you should be looking at? Because nowadays there are so many Saccos, some collapse, others they have been here for decades and they are performing best. Others, the technology is still wanting, and you have to go line up in the offices whenever you want to make whenever you want to make a contribution or take out a loan. So what are some of the things that you should be looking at when you want to join a Sacco? So number one, and the most important one, is that these Saccos should be regulated by the SASRA. SASRA, like we said before, is the regulatory body for most Saccos and cooperative societies within Kenya. You also have to ensure that these Saccos, they pay their dividends on time, and they have a good reputation. It should also be easy to access loans, and there should not be bureaucratic procedures whenever you want to access some loan. Maybe you have an emergency and need this money. The Saccos should be able to have easy access to these loans. And also other factors like technology. Are you able to withdraw money? Are you able to access your portal easily? Are you able to take out money without queuing? So these are some of the you should look at. While all Saccos have new operating rules, the Saccos, they are not equal. You find some Saccos, they have more members, others give higher dividends, others have high interest on the shares. So before you open an account with a Sacco, make sure you do your due diligence well. You look at all the aspects that we've talked about, things like technology, their reputation. You have to make sure that your money, wherever you're going to save your money, the Sacco is apart from being well regulated, has a good reputation, so that you do not lose your money. So do your due diligence and figure out a Sacco that best satisfies your needs. So opening a Sacco is very easy. You just need to walk into one of the Sacco, the one of your preference, walk in there with your national ID, the KRA PIN, and maybe a passport size photo of you. Just walk in there and say you want to open an account, and the agents there, they will direct you on account opening of the Sacco. Some of the benefits of Saccos include it offers a good investment and saving where your money is being invested by the Sacco, and in return you get interest or dividend on fully paid shares at the end of the year. There is easy access of the credit facilities or the so-called loans. Whenever you find you are in a dilemma and you need some money, you need some quick money, you can go to the Sacco which you are using to save money, apply for a loan there, and like you said before, you can get sometimes up to 3 times whatever you've saved in the Bossa account. Mostly you cannot access the actual savings that you made, but you can take a loan against it. The other advantage is the easy access of other services. For example, I've seen other Saccos, especially the ones which are industry-based, where you are in need of particular services, e.g. for the farmers, or maybe you want to buy the machines or the tractors for plowing. You can go to the Sacco which you are using to save money. You can you get them at affordable prices when you use that particular. So there is dividend payment and interest earning on the amount which you saved, and this is sometimes better than the rates which are being offered by bank accounts. So we find this is good because you're getting dividends on the shares which you own on that particular. It's also a nice way to network whenever the Saccos, they invite their members, maybe for some briefing or online, maybe for some briefing. You get to meet new people and see other members of you are see other members of that particular Sacco, and so it offers opportunity for networking. Some Saccos also provide other welfares like legal representation. If say you have been serving with them and as a chama or as a group, and you happen to have found yourself on the wrong side of the law, the Sacco may offer to give you a lawyer or somebody who will represent you in a court of law for that instance. Some of the differences that I've come to notice are, number one, including contribution. While in Saccos, you can you are supposed to make some fixed monthly deposits into the account without fail. And these amounts is what will determine the interest which you are going to get at the end of the year, whenever the interest has been declared. So if you save, say, a certain X amount of money, that X amount of money is they're going to subject the interest to it, and you're going to get it at the end of the year. While in money market fund, there is no fixed monthly deposit. All you need to do is to open an account. Then you can start with the particular amount of money, an X amount of money. For that, you can start with an X amount of money. It could be as low as 5,000 shillings. Others are other money market funds. There are some you can start from as low as 100 shillings, others 200 shillings. If you invest, say, 100 shillings, how much do you really expect to get as interest? Even though the interest that are being floated daily, yes, but logically, how much do you expect to get as interest from 100 shillings on a day? Even if you leave it for a very long, let's say 6 months, how much really are you expecting to get? Yes, you'll get some value add to it if you leave it for a long time, but even if you leave it for 10 years. In Saccos also, the interest rates are being declared, especially towards the end of the year, whenever they have done their books and they are declaring their profits. So they usually state the amount of dividend and interest that they're going to pay on members' contributions. And sometimes, mostly, this one ranges between sometimes 8% to, I think the highest paying Sacco right now is at 14%, if I am not wrong. And you find that in money market fund, in contrast, the interest rates, they are being offered on a daily basis. And the last I checked, some of the best performing money market funds in the industry, they give interest up to about 17%, 16%, some even 18%, depending on the risk appetite which you have. So, and you get to benefit this one on a daily basis. So the interest which you get on a daily basis is compounded at the end of the month. Whenever the new month is starting, they take the total interest which you've been earning during that month, and they add it to the principal which you started with, and that becomes the new principal for the second month. So over time, your money keeps growing and growing and growing the longer you leave it. The aspect as well is the liquidity. In Saccos, you don't really have the liquidity because you cannot go there and accept you cannot go there and withdraw the amount which you've saved with them. Say you got an emergency and you want to go there, and you tell the bank, you tell the Sacco, sorry, that you want to take back the deposits which you've been making. That is not possible. Yes, the money is yours, but you'll have to maybe write a letter in advance that you want to withdraw from the Sacco on this day. It could be like 2 months notice period, or sometimes 1 month, or that's even 3 months, depending. And then only then can you withdraw your money. But you find that in money market fund, you get it is more or less like a bank account in quotes, because there is the liquidity aspect of it. You can access your money anytime. You invested that 10 million and you got an emergency, you want to withdraw it, you get your money mostly between 2 to 3 working days. Mostly between 2 to 3 mostly between 2 to 3 working days. Other money market funds, you can access your money even on the same day, depending on the amount which you are withdrawing. Most of them I see they offer, when you're withdrawing less than 10,000 or 10,000, you can get that amount within the same day. For Saccos, you see, you have to apply for loan, you have to have a guarantor for that particular loan, and sometimes they take up to 48 hours for that particular loan to be processed, and that is if it is accepted. They have the option to reject it as well, depending on other factors which they themselves. The interest rate, again, on the money market, are in double digits. Most of them, they're offering very good rate, 10%, 11%, 12%, and like I said, some go as far as 18%, and those are very good returns. And so in my you choose. I'm not going to choose for you. I'm not going to choose for you which one is the preferred place to keep your money. It is your money, and you have all the right to it. You are entitled. It's your money, and you're entitled to make a decision about it, where you want to keep it, depending on where you want to, depending on where you feel your needs are being satisfied most, or where the interest is more. And also with the money market fund, I see most interest if for example, you save, say, 100,000 Kenyan shilling in a money market fund, and you leave it there for 12 months or a year. You'll get, depending on the rate, say if you use a fixed rate of 15%, if you use a fixed rate of 15% for the whole period, you get an interest of about 16,000 Kenyan shillings at the end of the 12 months. And that is net interest. That is after the government or the KRA has deducted its 15% withholding tax. I failed to mention that. The other thing which I should mention is that the interest which you get on your money on both the Sacco and the money market fund is subject to the withholding tax. Like you said, the withholding tax for the Saccos on the interest is 15%. If you're a non-resident, if you're a resident, the amount which you've saved is subject to the interest which you earned on the amount which you've saved is subject to a 5% withholding tax. While in money market fund, the interest which you've earned on the amount which you initially invested is subject to a 15% withholding tax. So if you say, for example, you save 100,000 Kenyan shilling with the money market fund, like you said, you get up to around 16,000. It could go higher, maybe sometimes 20,000 in you can get, if you get a good money market fund manager that is offering good rates. Like I said, there are those giving up to 17%, maybe 18%. You get that the net interest which you get towards at the end of the year may amount to up to sometimes 20,000 Kenyan shillings. So this again is depending on the fund manager which you've used to invest this particular. I hope I have given you all the information you need to make a decision on whether to invest in Saccos or the money market fund. Thank you so much for watching this video. We've come to the end. I thank you for taking your time and for reaching this far, and I hope you truly learned something about Saccos and the money market fund, and probably you are in a better position to make a better investment decision with regards to the two. Please subscribe, comment, and like this video. If you have any further questions or clarifications, reach out to me via my number. It's in the description, or also you can call me. You can call me via my number is in the description, or you can write to me on my email as well. Thank you so much. Please be blessed. Do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.